For decades, intellectual property has been treated as the foundation of innovation. Patents, copyrights, and trademarks were designed to protect creators and incentivize progress. But in practice, this system often produced the opposite effect. Instead of accelerating innovation, it slowed it down, turning ideas into locked assets rather than evolving systems. What we're seeing now with AI is not just another technological shift. It's a structural break in how ideas are created, distributed, and improved. AI doesn't copy in the traditional sense. It reconstructs. It learns patterns, logic, and structures, and then generates entirely new implementations that achieve the same outcomes. This means the core assumption behind intellectual property, that ownership of a specific expression equals control, is starting to collapse. When thousands of alternative implementations can be generated in minutes, ownership loses its strategic power. This is where the shift begins. We are moving from a world of ownership to a world of execution. In the past, being first gave you a long-term advantage. You could protect your position legally and extract value over time. Today, that advantage is shrinking rapidly. What matters now is how fast you can iterate, how effectively you can integrate systems, and how well you can deliver real-world value. Execution becomes the new moat. For engineering teams, this changes everything. The focus shifts away from protecting what was built toward continuously rebuilding and improving it. Roadmaps become shorter. Feedback loops become tighter. The ability to deploy, test, and adapt becomes more important than the original idea itself. At the same time, barriers to entry are collapsing. Smaller teams now have access to capabilities that previously required massive resources. AI acts as a force multiplier, allowing individuals and startups to compete at levels that were once reserved for large corporations. This creates a more dynamic and competitive environment, but also a more meritocratic one. Legacy advantages based on intellectual property start to weaken. Patent portfolios, legal defenses, and exclusive rights become less effective when alternative solutions can be generated instantly. The focus shifts toward building better products, faster. There is also a deeper economic implication. We are moving away from artificial scarcity. Digital information has always had near zero cost of reproduction, but intellectual property laws enforce scarcity to maintain control. AI removes that constraint by making synthesis as cheap as copying. As a result, value no longer comes from owning ideas. It comes from applying them. This leads to a new model of innovation: continuous, iterative, and highly competitive. Success is no longer about having a breakthrough once. It's about maintaining momentum over time. And this introduces a new role: not just creators, but curators. In a world where anything can be generated, the ability to choose what matters becomes critical. Selecting the right direction, refining outputs, and aligning them with real needs becomes a key skill. So the question for teams is no longer how to protect their work. It's how to stay relevant, how to build systems that evolve constantly, how to move faster than the rate at which ideas become commoditized, and how to create value in an environment where ideas are no longer scarce. This is not the end of innovation. It's the beginning of a more aggressive, more dynamic, and more demanding era, where the winners are not those who own the past, but those who can build the future continuously.